Hello makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? Welcome back to another day of Amy All April. If you're new here, I'm posting a new video every day in April, kind of like Vlogmas, but for spring. And today I wanted to test out the new Juvias Place Eye Primer. No, I don't need any more eye primer, but I really wanted to see what it was about. I feel like I'm actually surprised Juvias Place has waited this long to come out with an eye primer, so I have pretty high hopes that this is going to be bomb. In today's video, it is a first impression, but I'm also going to be only putting it on one eye, and then on the other eye, I'm going to go in with one of the Plouise bases, just because the packaging looks similar, the claims look kind of similar, so I thought it would be helpful to see them compared. I don't really buy from Plouise anymore, but I know it is a pretty well-known, very hyped up eye primer. I also have the shade 0 and 0.5, so I'm not sure what's going to be closest to the shade or color 1 from Juvias Place, which is the lightest one that they have. There are 3 available and they are $12 each with 12 milliliters of product. I pulled out some fun indie eyeshadows as well so that we can do a look together, and then I'm going to do a wear test throughout the day and just see what the difference is. So let's go ahead and jump right on in. Haven't even taken this out of the packaging yet, but I'm very curious. I will say though that when I went on the Juvias Place website, I was just double checking the price and I saw that the reviews for this so far, it's like 3 stars. So I'm kind of like, Here is what it looks like. It is the Prep Prime Eye Primer. I'm just gonna do a little swatch on the back of my hand. It looks like it's gonna be a pretty light. Y'all, do you see this? Oh my god, it's so liquidy. It literally just got all over me. Okay, I was not expecting that. It's all over my pants. Not off to a great start. That was really odd. I'm just gonna, oh my goodness. You guys hear that? Do some ASMR right now. I feel like that's the most liquidy sounding eye primer I've ever used in my life. Like my Plouise Base, you can't even hear it moving around because it's much thicker. So maybe that's a good thing that it's thin. Hopefully it doesn't keep separating like that though. All right, let's try again. Oh, do you see that? You can literally see the like separation of the product there even after mixing it like that. What the heck? I'm not feeling good about this. Like I came into this so excited. Okay, I did it again. Let's try again. No, it's just, do you see the separation there? It's literally running down my hand. But then like the actual product here feels thick. Okay, I'm just gonna sit here and shake this and like move it around for a good minute and I'll be right back.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Let's try one more time, see what we're working with here. I shook it aggressively. Okay, I can still see a little bit of separation, but it looks a little bit better. First impression, not great right now, but I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it to my eyes. I mean, it's a good color for me. Definitely lighter than my skin tone, which I appreciate, because I feel like I will do my best to make a lot of products work, but when an eye primer is darker than my skin tone, it just messes up my eyeshadow. I did see once though that Jackie Aina, she used an eye primer that was too light for her, so she added in a little touch of her concealer, and I thought that was really brilliant, so maybe I should try that. So I feel like I only went in with a little bit and it's covering quite a lot. I would say it seems pretty full coverage, but it is also creasing, like even as I'm going over it. All right, I'm gonna go into just a little bit of the Plouise Base 0.5 on the other side. It is way thicker. I feel like I might even need to go in with a little bit more because I just used a tiny bit. I really want to match, but I think that this one is a lot lighter and this one is much closer to my skin tone. So I kind of want to add a little bit of the white in just to make them the same shade so that we're kind of just starting off with the same base. Just add a little bit of that in. You can see this side is already creasing, so it's a very important. It doesn't matter to me that much if it does it before I put my eyeshadow down, but before you go in with any matte shade, you want to do this and get rid of the creases, because if you put a shadow over that, it will lock it in place. So for my eyeshadow today, I pulled out some formulas that I love. I have the Kaleidos Club Nebula palette here, and then I stuck 2 singles from Divina onto the magnets because I want to use those as well. And I just thought I would do like a fun kind of green look. So I'm gonna start off with this shade right here called Gravity, all through my crease. I chose this palette because I've done several wear tests with it, not like on YouTube or anything, just, I mean, wearing it for long days. And I never have any issues with how it wears. So I thought that it would be a good palette to test out because I know that normally most eye primers, I have no issues with it. So if the Juvias Place doesn't look good, then I know that it's not the eyeshadow. Just gonna lightly buff that out. It's blending really well on top, so that's nice, and the color looks very vibrant. Going into the Plouise Base side, and just trying to make my movements and blending and placement as similar as possible so we can get a really good comparison. I'm also just gonna take that shade along my lower lash line. I'm gonna go into this deeper green right here called Queen of Blades, and I'm gonna pop that in my outer V. Just to add some depth. And then just lightly bringing that into my crease. It almost looks a little bit patchy on this side, so I'm gonna go in with some more. I think this side might look a little bit smoother, but it's not that much of a difference. I'm also going to take a little bit of that deeper green on the lower lash line just to connect. Now for the inner corner, I'm going to start off with just a little bit of NYX Glitter Primer. I'm not going to be using this on the lid today because I don't want it to mess up our results or anything, so I'm just keeping it right here. And then I'm going to take Gumballs from Divina and pop that over top. Now, for all over the lid, I wanted to go ahead and use one of the Aurora Flare Multichromes from Divina, so I'm going to take the shade Phenomenon, and I just thought it would look really pretty with this color scheme. Just going to start that off on the outer half, and then blend it in. Just taking my crease brush and very, very lightly going over the edge right here. Real quick, I'm going to throw on some mascara, some liner, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the finished eye look. I really love how it turned out, and I feel like both sides look very, very similar. Can't really tell that I used different eye primers from application, so I'm happy about that. I was definitely really nervous after the whole like liquid separating thing, which is still an issue that I think we need to keep in mind with the primer, but I'm curious to see how they're going to wear it throughout the day. So currently the time is 2:28 p.m. so I will be back in a few hours. So it is currently 5:37 p.m. so I think it's just been a little bit over 3 hours. The Juvias Place side is definitely looking better. I don't know if you can tell on the Plouise side, it's starting to break up on the lid. Whereas this side, I can see it just a little bit, but it's definitely quite a bit less obvious. So far, I'm actually liking the Juvias Place more. I feel like the vibrancy and everything else all around looks good, but this side's definitely creasing more. So I'm gonna give it a few more hours and then I'll be back. All right, y'all, it is currently 12:08 a.m. The time kind of just slipped away from me, but it's been almost 10 hours. And I mean, look at the Plouise side versus the Juvias Place side. What a difference. The Juvias Place side looks so much better. Multichrome like completely wore off on this side, and like the mattes are starting to crease over here as well. Like so much shadow is gone. Whereas this side, there's like some slight creasing, but for over 10 hours and it being hot outside and everything, I feel like it's a pretty good wear test. So I'm happy so far. I'm curious to see how I'll feel like going into the future and using the Juvias Place more, and if it keeps separating, if I'm gonna have to like aggressively shake it every time. This is definitely just a first impression, but compared to the Plouise, I mean, I definitely think this looks better, and I do like that it was thinner, because my problem with the Plouise base is that if I use it every once in a while, it's fine, but I noticed if I use it every single day, it really is so thick it dries my eyes out. So yeah, I mean, go Juvias Place. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.